everybody. It is my pleasure and privilege to announce and to read out the a declaration and proclamations of the independence of Manipur from India. It is the original declaration signed by His Highness the Maharaj of Manipur. It was declared and proclaimed on 14 March 2012. Just in the Manipur State Council, 14 March 2012, a declaration and proclamation by members of the State Council and representatives of the State of Manipur in the Council. The sovereignty of the state is of God legitimizing the divine law of Pakhangba. In the land, sovereign are equal, states are equal. Law protects the right, whereas the sovereign right and the constitutional right and the de jure sovereignty of His Highness the Maharaj of Manipur are inalienable. His Highness the Maharaj of Manipur has the sole and the virtual rights of divine of king. The Manipur State Council Act 1947 and the Manipur State Administration Rule 1947 are enacted and promulgated by the Maharaj of Manipur as a sovereign authority. And these constitutional laws naturally exist in the state. The executive authority of the state exercised by the Manipur State Council, in which consists of Chief Minister as President of the Council and 6 ministers. The Maharaj has constitutional right and the de jure sovereignty to appoint them under the Rule 2 and 3 of the Manipur State Administration Rule 1947. And whereas it is an indisputable and acceptable political fact that since established the constitutional government of Manipur in 1948 in the state under the Manipur State Council Act 1947 have been exercising their right and power as responsible authority for the progress, development and welfare of the people and the state until immediately overthrown the constitutional government by the Indian government. Now therefore, we the de jure government of Manipur do hereby declare as a politically organized society and guided by the general international law and the universal principle and the enshrined in Charter of the United Nations Organization. We the sovereign people of the state of Manipur and the member of the State Council are hereby declare Manipur to be an independent from India on the day of 14 March 2012 at 7 p.m. The declaration stand declared independence. The declaration is adopted in the first State Council held on 14 March 2012 and approved by His Highness the Maharaj of Manipur. The people of Manipur and the Maharaj of Manipur have been safeguarding and upholding the de jure sovereignty of the state and continue it under its own system. His Highness the Maharaj of Manipur declared and proclaimed to protect and defend the Manipur State Constitution Act 1947 and the Manipur State Administration Rule 1947, which is a de jure constitution. Manipur State Constitution Act 1947 and the Manipur State Administration Rule was inaugurated and introduced by the bilateral agreement made between the Government of India and the Manipur State Darbar on one side, and on the other side the agreement between His Highness the Maharaj of Manipur and His Excellency the Governor of Assam as His Majesty representative, while Crown Paramountcy was in operation in India and in Manipur State. It is a perpetual and irrevocable agreement. The Crown Paramountcy transferred to the State Council with the execution of these 2 bilateral agreements, as well as a person, Chief Minister of Manipur, also transferred the power to the Chief Minister M.K. Prabhat on 14 August 1947 as directed and ordered by His Highness the Maharaj of Manipur. We declare to uphold, protect and defend the sovereign right, human rights, civil rights and political rights as our birthrights and the legitimate rights as enshrined by the Manipur State Council Act 1947 and the General International Law and the Charter of the United Nations we desire to determine the future of the state of Manipur. It is duty and the sole responsibility of the sovereign people of the state. The people of the Manipur possess certain natural and inherent rights. These rights exist independently of the state, and no sovereign can supersede them, as sovereigns are equal. We, therefore, the people of the state and the State Council firmly stand against the illegal occupation of Manipur by the Indian government and are determined to protect the territorial integrity of the state and uphold the independence and sovereignty of the state. We sign in the name of Iputo Pakhangba, given under our hand at Imphal, this 14th day of the March in the year of 2012. Chief Minister signed, Minister Council